Welcome friends in lecture 7 science of lesson 10 light, reflection and reflection, and from mirror formula we will learn the next topic, that is magnification. Now what is magnification is nothing but the ratio of the size of height of an image upon height of an object for an spherical mirrors. Now h dash upon h that you are seeing on the screen, that is also equals to the distance measured by, that is distance of the image upon distance of an object, and that is taken negative because minus answer will, because h dash either of them will be negative, just because of it one is taken as negative. Now in magnification basically the whatever the answer is coming, that depends upon the type of an image. Now if the answer is positive then the image is real if the answer is negative then it is virtual. If the magnification is less than 1, obviously the height upon that is height of an image upon height of an object is there, so that happens to be diminished, and if the height magnification is more than 1 then obviously it is enlarged, because the height is more of an image compared to an object, so obviously the image is magnified. So this is how we understand the magnification. The next topic that we are going to take here is refraction through rectangular glass slab. Now the image is there in front of your screen, that is an rectangular glass slab. Rectangular glass slab is can be an any ordinary piece of glass which is well polished, right? It should be obviously rectangular and should have some height, and that particular that you can keep it and pass a ray, and passing a ray passes from glass also and comes out from the glass. So this is an entire view of how the ray, incident ray. Now first of all we understand here that PQ here is an incident ray. Incident ray is a ray which is coming from the source, and the ray which is coming from the source, which is in the air medium, strikes to the glass medium and enters to the glass medium, and the black line that you are seeing, that the black ray is there, that is O and O dash. The incident ray is PQ and the refracted ray is O and O dash. After striking to the glass, it travels inside the glass in O and O dash, and after that strikes back to another surface which is a partition between glass and air again, and it again bends and comes out of from there also, that is O dash and S or RS you can say as an emergent ray. So first it is an incident ray, then it is an refracted ray, and coming out is an emergent ray. The normal is an arbitrary thing, that is we are just imagine a perpendicular line from that particular point of incident, and both the side wherever the light is striking, whether it is from air to glass or from glass to air, from water, whatever the medium is there, we on that particular medium we draw a perpendicular line where the ray is striking, is called as a normal. So ABCD is a rectangular glass slab, PQ is an incident ray, O and O dash is an refracted ray, and O dash and RS coming out ray is an emergent ray. Right now whenever the incident ray is striking, obviously it makes an angle of incident. So I is an angle of incident which is made by the incident ray and normal. The ray which is bending and getting it inside is from with respect to the normal is called as a refracted ray, and the angle is called as a refracted angle of refraction. And the last one which is coming out ray, so that particular angle is called as an angle of that is again a refraction only, so you can call the another R as in first, the second which is a glass one, above glass one and lower glass one. So lower glass one comes out to be an again angle of incident, and coming out ray as an angle of refraction, but for generalizing we speak out angle of incident, angle of refraction and angle of emergent. Otherwise you can mention as far as your book is concerned, they have given angle of incident, angle of refraction, angle of incident again in the glass, because glass does not relate with anything, it understands only that the ray is coming from any source and striking to the glass and coming out from the glass. So that particular point is called as an incident ray, and the coming out ray is called as a refracted ray. right. So, m and m dash mn and m1 n1 is a normal here. So, what we conclude from this experiment? We conclude from this experiment, as you are seeing, that when a ray of light passes from medium to a, that is from a rarer medium to a denser medium, it bends towards the normal. Now, first of all, you see incident ray and you see a refracted ray. This is a normal and this is a refracted. It should pass like this, but it bends towards the normal. The light should go this way, but when it strikes to the glass, that is rarer medium and denser medium, it bends towards the normal. And whenever a ray of light passes from a denser medium, that is again from the glass to the air, from a denser medium to a rarer medium, it bends away from the normal. So, first of all, when a ray of light strikes to a incident point and from a rarer medium to a denser medium, the ray of light bends towards the normal. This is a normal, in bends towards the normal. And from a denser medium to a rarer medium, it always, when a ray of light should go this way, but it bends away from the normal. This is a normal here and the light should pass this way, but it bends away from the normal. It should be like that, but it bends away from the normal. Yes, so as you are able to see here, that angle, in initial case, angle I above 1 and angle I is greater than angle R, because it bends towards the normal, it becomes shorter in case from air to glass. Now, in the second case, from the glass to air, the incident ray is smaller and the refracted angle becomes larger, right. So, I is smaller than R, and O dash L that you are seeing in an image, a line which is shown, actually O dash should be drawn perpendicular from it, and that is written between the difference between two rays, which actual ray should go pass through like this, but it bends inside and turns to another form of ray, that is incident, refracted and emergent. The difference between these two, original ray and an emergent ray, the distance between these two is called as a lateral shift. This is how light bends inside. That's why we are not seeing the correct images, whether you see in water, whether you see from the glass, it is slightly shifted. Like if you see something in water, the actual image is not like that. You see a pencil, you take a transparent piece of glass and put some water inside and put a pencil, you will see a pencil is like a broken one. The reason is again the same, that why it seems to be a broken one, because the light bends. We are going to learn the laws of refraction of light. Now, laws of last time that we have learned, according to the same concept, we are going to continue that incident ray, refracted ray and normal, to the interference of two transparent medium at a point of incident lie in the same plane, that is incident ray, refracted ray and the normal, all the points lie in the same plane. The ratio of sine of incident to the sine of refraction is supposed to be constant. Now, angle of incident, that is there, but we have to take in the trigonometric form, that is sine form. So, if you take the angle in a sine form as an angle of incident and upon it as an sine of r, that values in the log table we can easily calculate it. The table of sine is given inside the log also, particularly for what, that the color should be same, media should be same, and the angle of, for an angle of I, right. So, medium should not change. What we are talking about, this light, that is refraction ratios that we are talking about, the medium, like water is a medium, so we are talking with air and water only, like air and glass only in this particular case last time that we have done. And the color of light, there are 7 colors of light, that is in basic there are 3 colors. So, there are 7 colors of light, that particular wavelength should not change. So, these 3 things need to be constant. So, this particular law is known as in Snell's law. So, what is in Snell's law? Is nothing but sine of I upon sine of I is always constant, and this particular thing is called as an refractive index. Angle of incident upon angle of refraction in terms of sine is always constant, that is from air to glass or from glass to air, the ratio of sine of I upon sine of R always remains constant. This ratio is known as an refractive index and the law is known as an Snell's law. Now what it suggests? It suggests that R12 is nothing but the speed of light in two mediums, that is speed of light in air with respect to speed of light in vacuum. Now speed of light in air is fastest, like vacuum it is top, that is 3 into 10 raised to 8, 3 multiplied by 10 raised to 8 meter per second, that is in speed of light in vacuum. The same, almost same is the speed of light in air, but it always matters when vacuum it comes to air. It is slightly less, but almost 1 only. But in another mediums they are not 1. So the speed does not remains as 3 into 10 raised to 8. The speed changes. That change in the speed is always constant. That is nothing but reflective index. Now when we measure every transparent medium with vacuum, that is known as an absolute reflective index. So what is an absolute reflective index? Is the speed of light in vacuum upon speed of light in another medium. For an example, speed of light in vacuum upon speed of light in glass. So speed of light in vacuum is 3 into 10 raised to 8, and in glass it is 2 into 10 raised to 8. The ratio comes out to be 1.5. So this is how we take out absolute reflective index. Thank you for this particular lecture.